Welcome back, everybody, to the SK Telecom T1 2015 Pro League Grand Finals here between SK Telecom and Jin Air Greenways. We just had it tied up 1-1 with an epic TVT that Team Blade and Wolf were casting.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. A really close TVT there, as expected, between Dream and Maru. And now we get to go into a pretty dangerous matchup, I gotta say, for soO, especially going up against Pigbaby. Pigbaby known for all his all-ins and his aggression and his sort of planned timings. So I'm sure we're going to be jumping into that in a moment's time.
Well, looks like we're going to talk shortly with Hyunjung first. Yeah, I mean, Pigbaby, he came out once before, and he was able to cheese out the uncheesable in TY on this very map. Definitely not a Protoss favorite map. It's usually a map you don't send a Protoss out on, but they do want to send out Pigbaby. It does look like we are going to talk to a very popular man. I believe he's the same guy who did the cosplay of Mengs before. We're going to get a translation. First time seeing you after Kespa Cup. Thank you for coming out to the finals here. We were very busy preparing for another Kespa Cup next month. But I just wanted to feel the energy from the crowd tonight here at Lotte World. And he has to say thank you to everyone who has participated and prepared in this event. He had a ton of fun watching the first two sets. Starcraft 2 is once again flourishing in 2015. It definitely has to be a very memorable year here for you. And the next expansion is coming out soon. Kespa Cup and Pro League. Will it happen next year for Legacy of the Void? So he's saying the best thing that he did after being involved in esports was getting Pro League started once again. And he's saying that SPL2017 is once again going to broadcast Pro League for 2016. And he's saying thank you to everybody, all the esports fans who are helping StarCraft 2 to flourish once again. If it wasn't for you guys, StarCraft 2 tournaments would not be continuing right now in Korea. And he says next year's Pro League is going to be more upgraded, more exciting, more interesting. So he wants everybody to come in and watch once again, as it will be another very fun year with Pro League.
Well, there you go, Valdez. We have work next year after all. It's great to hear that. I'm very excited for a Legacy of the Void Pro League as well.
And now he's promoting an amateur tournament, which is going to happen in 2 weeks in Korea. Telling the fans to come out and watch the amateur games, because any of those amateurs could come out and become a pro gamer within a couple of years. and he's now announcing that esports is acknowledged as just a real sport in Korea. It's a real thing. And he wants the esports fans, once again, just saying, come out and watch the amateur tournament. It will establish the foundation of esports becoming a real sport, even more so in the future, if we do have amateur leagues that do lead into the professional leagues.
How about that? Let's definitely support all esports out here.
And he hopes that the following matches are going to be just as exciting as the first and second set. And he wants everybody to have a bunch of fun here. To you guys who are out in the stands, in the audience, or you guys back at home who are watching. And please do support KESPA and esports and SPO TV. And all the esports games, not even just Starcraft 2. You name it, if it's an esport, go support it. And he's also talking about all these mobile games that are turning into esports. Mobile games are gigantic in Korea. So the Korean government has a lot of interest in esports right now due to these games that are coming out. So he says, once again, please do support. Make sure you're telling your friends, spread the word. Make sure you're participating in these events, coming down to watch any of the finals or any kind of just game or events that we do have in Korea. And he's going to do his best to make Pro League even better next year. And he's going to try his best to represent KESPA to the best of his abilities. And Tita said thank you. And thanks once again, guys, for listening to what he did have to say.
Alrighty then. Great to hear all that news, and yeah, make sure you all support esports. I know you all love it. I know you all love those Starcraft games that we watch every day here at Pro League, and man, I can't wait to get into the next one. That's all I want to do at this point, Valdez, is play the next game.
Yeah, man. Speaking of esports, why don't we get into those esports?
We watch some and talk about it, because soO versus Pigbaby is very exciting. Here's a look at soO now. What used to be the best Zerg player in the world, hands down, and Pigbaby, an old WCS North American champion, came back to Korea, came back to his team Jin Air, and resumed the role there.
Yeah, and coming out here, getting that big win against TY, as I said before, definitely is riding on that Jin Air hype train. Playing his heart out, he's preparing every time he does come out, and I would not be surprised if we see another fantastic aggressive build coming out from him on this map against soO.
Yeah, it really is going to come down to soO identifying what Pigbaby is trying to do to kill him. It's basically coming down to, okay, it's Iron Fortress, I'm a Zerg player, you're a cheesy Protoss player essentially. What are you going to try to do to kill me? Here's soO, 16-4 this year.
It's pretty unbelievable. It's one of the best records that we did have. Of course, the winning record is something entirely different. It's how many wins you can rack up. But this guy is 16-4. That is an 80% win ratio, playing against the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And of course, he's on top. He's been to many different finals, and he even won the KESPA Cup himself, as we said before.
Absolutely. And here is Pigbaby, 0-1 in regular season, and he did take down TY in the playoffs. Certainly has a lot to prove here. Definitely used as a sniper player. So he's got something lined up for soO, that's for sure. It's just about what, and it's about soO figuring it out before it kills him.
Yeah, I don't see Pigbaby going into a long game here against soO and trying to macro, especially on a map like Iron Fortress. I don't see it as remotely possible to play. Absolutely
not. Not against this guy, because soO is certainly known for his mechanics. He's known for his late game, and if you let him get there, he's unstoppable. You will not beat this guy. This guy got 4 grand finals in GSL last year. No one's ever done that before back-to-back. He is really one of a kind in terms of a Zerg player as well as a player in general. Whereas Pigbaby, he had a lot of success overseas. Not much here at all.
Yeah, it's not the same. He comes over back to Pro League. He plays once in the entire season, and he did lose that game. I mean, it's only one game. He only got to prove himself once in the regular season, of course. He did look better in the playoffs. He had a very cool build, that kind of blink all in against TY. But, you know, it is a different matchup here. He's going up against soO. And soO not the worst at holding off these kinds of all-ins either.
No, and no doubt expecting it completely from someone like Pigbaby. Not going to be playing too gritty here, going to be playing very careful and just trying to identify what is going on this game. Everyone going for soO. I'm pretty sure everyone here most likely going for soO as well.
I think so. Wolf, did you vote for soO or Pigbaby? He says Pigbaby.
All right, so one for Pigbaby. If we were on this list, I'm sure Wolf would get a nice little close-up here because he's the only guy going for him.
Yeah, they'd run a camera over here or something.
Yeah, and it does make sense. You know, Pigbaby, he is dangerous in this. He could very well take down someone like soO. He took down someone like TY. Yeah. He's got a lot of very killer builds ready for this kind of situation.
Yeah, and he had a lot of time, of course, to prepare for this. Over a week to prepare, you know, one specific build for one best of one. That's definitely something that Pigbaby has shown he is good at before. So definitely do not count this player out, even though soO may have the better records over time here, has shown himself on more final stages, of course. This is a best of one, and it's all going to come down to this.
That's it, best of one. That's the best way to put it as well. Best of one against a Protoss that this aggressive. It's such a dangerous place to be for any player, no matter how good you are, what caliber you are, what you've done in the past. It's almost a coin flip sometimes, depending on how you scout, where you scout, the positions on the map. It really comes down to a lot, especially in a map like this, which is a 4-player map.
It does look like soO's having some trouble with this PC right now, so we are going to have a bit of a delay once again. Sorry, guys, for any technical delays we do have. We know the background noise is a little bit loud. Maybe our mics aren't loud enough, but we're doing our best to get that solved. And
we're winging it here. We rocked up and we had to deal with what we got. We're happy to be here, though. We're happy to be at this event talking about these fantastic players in the highest skill level tournament in the world, I'd have to say. It goes all year long, and all these teams put so much effort into it. Very exciting times here.
Yeah, you can see the amount of focus that's going on there on both of these team benches. Not many smiles. The only smile I really saw was Cure, but I'm sure he was being told a joke.
Yeah, it is a lot of stress actually at the moment here. This kind of situation, no team really has an advantage so far. And it's looking to be like it could very well go the distance to Game 7 as well.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting, you know, Sari coming in here and not taking the win over Cure when he has looked pretty fantastic in that matchup before. A lot of prepared builds. Cure coming out with that upset, and then Dream taking down Maru. I was actually rethinking my prediction after I said it because Maru in recent times just not the best TVT at all. A very poor record in that matchup, whereas Dream, he's prepared a lot for this matchup.
Yeah, it was really about Dream. Is he going to deliver or not, and what is he going to deliver? And he delivered mech, and that's the one thing that Maru has shown weakness to, especially in recent times.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Maru just sometimes refuses in these CVTs to try that mech style, mech versus mech. He's shown it against Zerg. He's quite fantastic at it as well, at least in the TDZ matchup.
Yeah, it seems like he's really lacking confidence or something. It doesn't make sense why he doesn't want to adapt like that. And maybe he just really loves the bio style. He does it so well, so it does make sense.
He's saying there he wants a really fun StarCraft 2 game to come here.
Fair enough. That does make a lot of sense as well. Well, we are going to get into this in a moment's time whenever soO is ready and happy with his setup. You know, this is the last match for a lot of these players for the year, so they cannot let this go. They have to make sure everything is perfect before they get into that game.
Shout out some very important people here down at the finals. I think that was one of the Jin Air executives earlier, the woman, and the man, I'm not so sure. But I also saw Stork in the background. So many different... well, I just got sound in both of my ears.
Oh
this
my
sounds
God.
fantastic.
This is life-changing, actually, Valdez.
But yeah, tons of coaches coming down to watch this from other teams, bunch of players that received awards, and just players that are coming down to watch at the same time.
Yeah, huge, huge crowd here at Lotte World, a place that I hope never to go again. It's simply too crowded, Valdez.
Yeah, kind of an interesting setup we do have here, but it's been fun so far. Lots of lights, lots of sounds, and that's exactly what you want for an event of this kind.
Very young crowd, perhaps too young for StarCraft. It's hard to say. So you have a look at these players. It looks like soO still having a bit of trouble with his PC.
Yeah. What was the issue you guys had at the Heroes finals? Something about 64-bit and 32-bit or something.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I got to say, the wrong operating system causing frame loss. You know, I don't think you'll have that sort of problem in StarCraft. Hard to say what exactly it would be there at this point. You know, it looks like he's trying to figure out maybe the resolution, maybe something's happening in the game. And Pigbaby's just waiting, man. He's just thinking about that all-in he's going to do on 2 base, and how is he going to perform that Blink Stalker.
And I don't feel like this is a good situation for Pigbaby. You can see him sweating in the booth. He's showing some signs of uncomfortableness.
This is probably the biggest stage he's played on, to be honest. You know, I know he's won, you know, a WCS North America, which is a huge achievement, but that's nothing compared to the Pro League Grand Finals of the year, where your team is counting on you to get this win over such a huge opponent, one of the best players on that team that has so many achievements behind him.
Yeah, probably top 3 Zerg at this point in the world.
Easily, for sure. You know, Zerg, definitely not the dominant race this year, but still a lot of success with soO, with Bjol, you know, the likes, still can really do a lot of damage, especially in this kind of best-of-1 scenario.
For sure. Pigbaby, he did get the word earlier on. I saw that soO was having some trouble, so still just trying to keep calm in the booth, not really think too much about his nerves.
Yeah, just going to try and come to terms with them, I guess. Probably the hardest time is before the game starts. You know, everything up until that point is a bit of a nightmare. Once you're in that game, you get your head straight. But before then, just thinking about what's going to happen. Where are you going to spawn on this map? How's it going to perform? What are you going to do in every situation? And how are you going to be the aggressor, especially, is going to be nerve-wracking.
I love this stage, by the way. We get that Pro League P up on top, and then the SK Telecom symbol over there on the left, and Generic Green Wings on the right, as long as a bunch of banners. The boots are also decorated by the teams. The Generic Green Wings one is green. The SK Telecom team one is orange.
Yeah, look at that, an orange balloon to represent the team as well. Don't know if that was there on purpose or simply by chance.
Well, now that you mention it, most of the balloons here are either orange or green.
Well, there you go.
I see one white one, one guy who just doesn't want to follow the rules here.
And this is what it's all about, Valdez. This sick trophy is going to be in someone's hand by the end of this event today. And it's going to mean everything for that team. It's such a boost. You know, sponsors are going to be looking at this being, oh, you're the champion of Pro League 2 2015. That means a lot. And it could mean a lot for the team. It could keep a team alive. It could give them a lot of money to kind of use for next year's Pro League as well.
Well, we do have the headset on soO now, as well as on Pigbaby, so it will be moments before we do get into this game number 3 on Iron Fortress between soO and Pigbaby. Players are all readied up and ready to get into this game.
Yep, looks like they're nearly ready. Hopefully, let me jump in just a second. I wish we had an observer PC, Valor, so I can make sure of that. Look at all the bling that soO wears, by the way. I find that personally to be very inhibiting. But it looks like he's comfortable with the ring and a couple of bracelets. And you know, if you can do it, man, be a baller.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so.
That's what happens when you win. You come second 4 times in a row at GSL. You have that much money. You buy some diamonds, man.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, you know, he's also got that Kespa Cup pin on, which is kind of cool. He did, of course, win that.
Yeah, his first win, to be honest. It's just kind of surprised considering on how many grand finals he was in last year. He finally took one. Granted, it was over his teammate Dark, I believe.
So kind of mixed feelings there, I'm sure, but more. I'm sure he was more feeling that win. We were talking about it before. It is a Tier 2 tournament out here, but still a win. It still was a very hard tournament to get through. 16 of the best players over here in Korea.
Yep, certainly so. One of the most stacked tournaments you'll run into. It sounds like things are getting excited here. That must mean we are going to be jumping into the next game in a second, Valdez.
Yeah, let's do it, Moonglade. Let's go into game number 3 now between soO and Pigbaby. Down here in the bottom right, in the orange, the Zerg player from SK Telecom T1. He is soO.
And up here in the top right for Jin Air Green Wings, we do have the Protoss player, Pigbaby. A lot to prove here. The sniper Protoss for the team. Loves his all-ins. What does he have planned on this map? Certainly not going for late game. No Protoss wants to go late game on this map, especially against a Zerg player.
You're talking about that sniper player, someone we don't see all too often. We were curious about who Jin Air was going to use in this spot. They do have other players such as Symbol, Terminator, guys that don't really see much playtime, but it did seem, especially once they picked Pigbaby and he did perform, that they couldn't go back on him. They had to use him once again here. And I do like the decision, especially after what we did see out of Symbol was not too impressive.
Certainly, sir.
Got Shrekarino'd by Hero.
He got Shrekarino'd indeed, man. It really does make a lot of sense, especially against someone like soO as well, who's known for greed, known to play safer, but not too safe. He really wants to get as many drones out as he can early. And Pigbaby, certainly going to be looking for a sniper build to punish him if soO wants to play that game again.
Yeah. Well, Pigbaby's going to be pretty happy about these spawns up at vertical. Could have been cross, would have been the longest rush distance, would have made it possibly a bit harder to get your all-in across the map.
Yeah, but look at this. We're going to be starting with that Nexus first. So you're going to be opening up Greedy, but that's just formality for 2 base all-ins as well, because it's going to get your economy so far ahead early on that it's going to open up a lot of options of aggression in the mid-game.
Yeah, even going to a gateway afterwards. I think he studied soO here, said, hey, he's going to be confident against me. He's going to go for hats first. I don't need to worry about early aggression. So if I do want to stay on 2 bases alone, I can start off as greedy as possible, get a fantastic economy before I do go into any kind of aggressive attack. And look at this. It's going to be 2 base before pool.
Yeah, we did see that drone scout head to the middle of the map just to make sure no proxies were around. Very confident play from soO, especially against someone like Pigbaby. But the one thing you can't do, is even against a highly aggressive Protoss, is go too defensive, or you will simply fall behind regardless.
And that's exactly why he is going for this. He's going to be pretty happy with this, of course, because Pigbaby was going for this Nexus first. I mean, Pigbaby did send out this probe to go for a scout, and if he saw this 3 base while he was going for something aggressive, maybe chrono boosted out the units, or even just a forge to get some cannons down, could have been a nightmare for soO.
Yeah, it could really catch you out, that's for sure. But, with a 4-player map like this, these kind of things are a little less likely to happen, unless it's really going to be that sort of cannon rush all-in with double probe scouts from Pigbaby. So there's a little bit of room to be a little bit more greedy and a little bit more comfortable, at least in the early game. The real problem is when it gets to the mid game, your 3rd base is so far away from your natural. For both races, it gets a little bit harder to defend and be in position to defend against any sort of aggression.
Yeah, well, Pigbaby has scouted out soO's base, does know that he did go for that double hatch before pool. And no tech just yet out of Pigbaby, just goes for a Zealot to block the wall and a Stalker here to push out any Overlords that do want to go into the base. We're going to have to wait here just maybe half a minute before we do see this tech come out of the Protoss.
Yep, just getting everything in place, making sure that Stalker is out to deny any further scouting. And soO yet to invest in gas, at least until now. We're actually seeing a couple of extractors go down, so pretty late, to be honest. But he's still in a very comfortable place. He's getting everything out he needs to in time, even scouting the middle of the map and is sending the Lings out to try and identify what the plan's going to be.
Oh, and look at this. It's going to be a robotics facility coming out of Pigbaby. We do see sentries on the way here as well. Could be some kind of Warp Prism harass to start it off.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see, a sentry drop into an Immortal all-in. That'd make a lot of sense for Pigbaby on a map like this in these kind of positions as well. Vertical spawns does make a lot of sense. It does make it just a little bit easier for him to go for that all-in.
Yeah, another thing you can do on this map, we saw out of Cure, you can kind of abuse the mineral lines of any 3rd or 4th base that do come down. You could get your sentries behind the mineral line of the 3rd base of soO, deny some mining, and then follow it up. Or you could go for that kind of greedy, let me try to get into the main, force field the ramp, and take out your lair.
That's right, and look at this, going straight into Immortal, so not even going to be going for that Warp Prism, just going to be building as many as he can, and behind this, a ton of gateways to go for that very early, very raw sort of Immortal, and probably with mostly Zealots, because the gas is going to be very invested into those Immortals.
Is now getting his third, fourth gas up here, so definitely going to focus on getting as many of these as possible, as you did mention. It's one at a time. We do have, I think, 3 gateways up at the moment, but this probe is suspicious. And here we go. 3 more gateways are coming down. That's going to be 6 in total, I believe.
Yeah, certainly so. And there's 3 Sentry Warpins as well. Very crucial to deal with this kind of, to deal with Roachling in general. You know, you got to make sure you have those force fields to cover those Immortals while they do that damage. And let's see, it looks like he's going to be only committing to 2 Immortals for now, which is, it's enough damage, but it's going to have to hit sooner than later.
We do have an aggressive attack in the meantime coming out of soO. He's stayed on 47 drones here on 3 bases, wants to do a bit of tempo play, wants to possibly poke at this wall. But little does he know that this is a very, very scary army for him to go up against with what he's got.
Oh, he's identified. He's going to try to jump on top of the army there. Oh, a lot of force fields being used. Not enough even.
Oh, he's going to have to recall out here, but 2 of the sentries are going to be caught. Here we go. The aggression is coming at the wall.
This is the kind of aggression we were not expecting. soO to be the one aggressing. Putting Pigbaby in such a back foot right now. He's in actually a horrible place because he's meant to be over the other side of the map, applying the aggression, using these force fields offensively, but now he's stuck in his natural.
Oh, but look at this. He's identified that everything from soO is out of the base. There's nothing in the main, and there's a sentry in that drop.
Oh, no. This could do a lot of damage. This could even guarantee the main base kill.
Oh, boy. Here we go. He's got 6 gateways back at home, so the Warpins are going to continue coming in. We got 3 sentries now in the main, and he can forever force field that ramp.
That's right.
Unless he misses it and all the links get up. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. The one thing that could not happen happened, and he did. He forgot force fields. The pressure of these Pro League finals displayed right there, and he fell apart in a big way. That was such a big opportunity for Pigbaby.
Yep, and now everything in the main is going to be taken out. The Warp Prism just barely does stay alive to see another day.
Wow. This is a bad place. This is such a bad place for Pigbaby at this point. All soO has to do is make sure he's in the right place with the right amount of units to crush this army. He certainly has production. He certainly has the economy to do so as well. It's just about identifying where is it coming from.
Well, it's coming up here towards that 3rd base, and already all the roaches are here to jump on top of it.
Oh
no force fields are coming out here. He wasn't looking, and all the lings are on top of the Immortals. 1 should be able to go down here, and there's so many units behind this for soO.
Nice little donut, though. It's going to open up a bit of aggression for these Immortals, but just not enough, and no buffering anymore for these Stalker Immortals.
Yeah, all the sentries go down here, and just not enough force fields to end this fight. Now on top of the ramp, and soO is on the chase, trying to take this fight.
Oh man, everything falling apart. Only 1 Immortal left over, and he shouldn't be able to clean up this trade either. There's Hydra at the back doing so much damage, and more units coming in.
Yeah, lots of gateways, keep in mind here, for Pigbaby. He's trying to desperately micro himself to win this game. He's going to push back this 1 attack from soO, but soO does have a lot more where that did come from.
Yeah, though the one problem, especially against soO, is that he's so refined in his mechanics that these units don't stop being made. The injects don't stop either. So constantly, this flow of units coming out into the map, and it's certainly going to be outproducing what we see from Pigbaby.
Exactly, and even more queens are being produced right now for the defense, for some transfuses even. And he's just waiting. He's being very patient with this defense. He's like, okay, you take out that gas. That's fine.
That's fine. I'm still up a base. I still have that production advantage. I even have the competition advantage at this point because I'm making Hydras. All he has to do is wait for this attack to come onto creep, and he should be able to completely annihilate it at this point.
Yeah, look at this concave now for soO. He's tempting Pigbaby. Okay, come into my base. If you want to really go for this attack, which you have to because you're only on 2 base, here we go. We do have this concave coming through, but as you see, Pigbaby just doesn't really have enough. Some decent force fields there, but the Hydras do have range, and they're shooting behind the force fields, actually, and they are ripping apart this Protoss army. It doesn't look like this is going to be enough for Pigbaby.
No way, no how. Not with as many Hydras against the Gateway army. Got to be careful of these force fields on the ramp, but even then, so many Hydras in range of most of these units, it doesn't even matter.
Just way too much DPS. Another force field does come down, and he's desperately trying to focus down these units, but take a look at the supply. There's barely anything left here in terms of army for Pigbaby.
And down goes the final Immortal. Let's see if Pigbaby stays in the game for long. It's hard to see what he can actually do, and the counterattack is rushing towards his natural. soO in a dominant form right now, and there's really no way he can lose this game.
Yeah, Pigbaby's going to try his heart out to do whatever he can. He's got 3 Stalkers here with a very low War Prism, trying to snipe a Queen, it seems, but just not enough. And there's a gigantic Zerg army at his front door.
Yeah, knocking down that Cybercore means no more force fields after the one's warped in. He's going to try and defend against this, but it's going to be in vain. Look at that 60, 70 supply down already.
Running to their deaths are the Zealots. GG! soO is going to take game number 3.
Beautifully done from soO, and soO can't even believe it. Pigbaby fell apart, and you know what? This is why we haven't seen Pigbaby all year long. He's been overwhelmed by the stress of the booth. He only played 1 game throughout the normal season. He got that all in the post-playoffs, but that wasn't on a stage like this. Yeah,
very different. That was back in the Nexon Arena. And here we go. We do see soO, the veteran, the multiple-time finalist here, coming out and ripping apart Pigbaby, making it look easy. And that is going to give SKT1 the 2-1 lead.
Certainly giving them an advantage, especially when you're looking at the next match of Innovation versus SOS as well. That's going to be a really interesting one. SOS looking like a prime killer in the postseason playoffs, but Innovation, the best Terran in the world right now, and also the current GSL champion.
Yeah, that's definitely the highlight match of the night, for sure. SOS up against Innovation. I mean, SOS, I think he was something like 8-0 in postseason playoffs here before the grand finals. So this guy is on a gigantic run against so many fantastic players. He reverse all-killed KT by himself.
Yeah, that is a feat no one else can really do at this point. It really shows just how good SOS can be. He's not that all the time, but he really turned it on in these postseason playoffs.
Well, guys, as we did mention, Innovation versus SOS is going to be the next matchup.
And I think we'll be doing a little headset swap as well. I believe Wolf and you will be casting this one?
Yep, for the rotation. Moonblade, of course, going to come back in the first 2 sets. Starcraft 2 is once again flourishing in 2015. It definitely has to be a very memorable year here for you. And the next expansion is coming out soon. Kespa Cup and Pro League. Will it happen next year for Legacy of the Void? Welcome back, everybody, to the SK Telecom T1 2015 Pro League Grand Finals here between SK Telecom and Jin Air Greenways. We just had it tied up 1-1 with an epic TVT that Moonblade and Wolf were casting.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. A really close TVT there, as expected, between Dream and Maru. And now we get to go into a pretty dangerous matchup, I gotta say, for soO especially, going up against Pigbaby. Pigbaby known for all his all-ins and his aggression and his sort of planned timings. So I'm sure we're going to be jumping into that in a moment's time.
Well, looks like we're going to talk shortly with Hyunjung first. Yeah, I mean, Pigbaby, he came out once before, and he was able to cheese out the uncheesable in TY on this very map. Definitely not a Protoss favorite map. It's usually a map you don't send a Protoss out. Flourish once again. If it wasn't for you guys, StarCraft 2 tournaments would not be continuing right now in Korea. And he says next year's Pro League is going to be more upgrade more upgraded, more exciting, more interesting. So he wants everybody to come in and watch once again, as it will be another very fun year with Pro League.
Well, there you go, Valdez. We have work next year after all. It's great to hear that. I'm very excited for a Legacy of the Void Pro League as well.
And now he's promoting an amateur tournament, which is going to happen in 2 weeks. So he's saying the best thing that he did after being involved in esports was getting Pro League started once again. And he's saying that SPL2017 is once again going to broadcast Pro League for 2016. And he's saying thank you to everybody, all the esports fans who are helping Starcraft 2 to farm, but they do want to send out Pigbaby. It does look like we are going to talk to a very popular man. I believe he's the same guy who did the cosplay of Mengs before. We're going to get a translation. First time seeing you after Kespa Cup. Thank you for coming out to the finals here. We were very busy preparing for another Kespa Cup next month. But I just wanted to feel the energy from the crowd tonight here at Lotte World. And he has to say thank you to everyone who has participated and prepared in this event. He had a ton of fun watching